Yes, it's 20th March 2023. About 1 hour ago, Raila Odinga, taking to his social media accounts, shared out this with Kenyans. Raila Odinga, leo ni leo, hashtag date with destiny, 20th March. 1. A word from Baba. My dear Kenyans, I'm not interested in your tribe, your race, your religion, your age. I am only interested in your happiness. 2. A word from Baba. We make possible the impossible. We are Kenyans. We set the trend. 3. A word from Baba. I call on our people to awaken the old fighting spirit that was always capable of bringing down failed bloodthirsty regimes. 4. A word from Baba. People want to take charge of their destiny, can do it despite threats, intimidation. In a matter of hours, we begin taking over our country and our destiny. Those are words of wisdom from Raila Odinga. Hayawi huwa. Today is 20th March 2023. It's just remaining some few hours to the Grand March. Yes. Before we proceed, let's have a look at some very interesting clips from South Africa. There is a very interesting clip from South Africa, and I feel the clip is important because Kenyans should expect something similar to that in the next few hours. Have a look at this clip. Yes. Kenyans should expect scenes like that in the coming few hours. And besides that, the demonstrators should also be prepared for running battles. Because looking at William Ruto's government, it's coming out as a very confused government, a very naive government, a government literally running scared. They don't know what they should do or should not do. We saw them on Friday trying to spoil. They were trying to interfere with Raila's political tours and rallies in Kiambu County. But the people stood firm and they actually overpowered the police. So even tomorrow, if the people can stand firm, the will of the people will indeed overpower the police. Because Kenya is our country, we are all Kenyans, and all we want is a better country. A country where government does not tell us that the government is a limited company. If you never voted for it, then you forget about government appointments. We want a lean government, not a bloated government. We want a government that only men and women of integrity are serving in our public offices. What we are seeing in Ruto's government, the more corrupt you are, the more your chances are high of getting a job in this government. That's something we have seen because we are seeing corruption cases against corrupt individuals. Those cases are being dropped for them to serve in government. All these things we are seeing in a William Ruto's government. We are also looking at a government that instead of making sure it addresses the issues Kenyans are going through, we are seeing a government that is busy politicking, busy scheming for 2027 instead of service delivery. A government just sorting the big boys, the politicians, at the expense of the hustlers. In fact, Kenyans have got all the reasons to turn out in their thousands and in their millions to tell William Ruto and his team that Kenya is not his. Kenya is not a two-tribe country. Kenya belongs to over the 45 tribes, over the 50 million Kenyans. We all have equal stakes in Kenya, whether you voted for somebody or not. As long as we are all paying taxes, we are all equal shareholders in this country. Let's also listen to some words of wisdom by some bishops from the mountain. Listen to this.
And then somebody stands in public, somebody who has still not remembered that is not the deputy president of UDA. This is the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya, and says he is serikali ni kampuni. If it is a company, please stop asking for our tax. Ask the shareholders to pay because they are the ones who own this company. If it is a company, we should not be paying the tax. It is a sad day for Kenya if that has to come from that high office. It is a sad day. Kenya belongs to everybody else. Kenya is not a company.
We ask President and the entire government to listen to the pleas of those Kenyan citizens in distress. We are in a problem of famine still, and we have not fully addressed the question of famine. We are speaking about the cost of living. We understand the economic situation, but we need to address it, and especially in very definitive public decisions. And that's why we feel sad that in these moments when Kenyans are suffering and struggling, that we received this news of yet a huge expansion of a bloated budget because of the huge appointment to offices of our cabinet secretaries, the so-called chief administrative secretaries, that will mean taking away the resources from the poor right now in order to support some of these persons. At this moment, we are not wishing to discuss whether it's merit-worthy or not merit-worthy. The question is it opportune to do it when Kenyans are struggling? I think it's something we should be reducing the budget of salaries, of expenses, for the sake of Kenyans, for the sake of uplifting especially those who are really under great distress.
Those are words of wisdom by those two truthful men of God. Even though the church on the mountain has been compromised and is worshipping money and worshipping men, there are some remnants who are actually speaking truth to power. And such are the types of men and women of God who should all be emulated, not the tumbocrats worshipping men and worshipping money. And all those things are actually some of the reasons as to why Kenyans are actually demonstrating. And it's only demonstrations that will make this government wake up. It's only the demonstrations that will wake up this sleeping government. Because already these are government that has compromised the judiciary, it has compromised the legislature, and even we are seeing all independent government institutions are all being compromised. So if Kenyans are quiet and silent, we are dealing with a team that if given only maybe one more year, they shall have muzzled everything and everybody. This is why Kenyans must rise and resist this oppressive government. and also to the members of the opposition, the elected leaders. It's also very unfortunate that they masqueraded as those who are supporting the opposition. Upon now the other side maybe finding itself in power, we are seeing them crossing over. In fact, I'm appealing to Kenyans in areas where these leaders are coming from. These are not leaders. These are tumbocrats who should be rejected. In fact, for me, I see it, Kenyans should not even wait for 2027. Kenyans in those areas should start a process of recalling these conmen. I see them as conmen. They lied to the people that they were in Azimio upon being elected because they were elected because they were in Azimio. Upon being elected, they are crossing over. So in a nutshell, they lied to the people to elect them. And upon being elected, they want to start doing business with William Ruto and his team. Sasa wanataka wakule mshahara ya mbunge na wakule tena kwa serikali. That's conmanship of the highest level. And to those turning out for demonstrations, make sure you carry a white handkerchief and a bottle of water. Yes, make sure you carry a handkerchief and a bottle of water. For those who will be able to carry the sufurias and the cooking sticks, also carry those. Let's meet in our next analysis. But before I go, if you are watching us but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. And to our fans and subscribers here, I'm very much humbled, very grateful for the kind of support you are giving me here. Very many of you have been asking for my number. And some of you maybe don't know that I always pin my number on the first comment, on the comment section. Contact me through the number, or if you want to support our channel, be free to send your support to the number. Let's meet in our next analysis.